Hey folks, you're watching IELTS Speaking, Passive Listening. I'm Kevin Wynn. Today is Topic 5, Digital Literacy and Online Safety. The full transcript with key phrases is in the description. In this mock, examiner Lisa Lee runs the test, Olive shows band 5 to 6, and Mary brings band 7 plus model answers. Grab your notebook, shadow the answers with me, and let's stay smart and safe online.
Hi everyone, great to see you again for this topic. I'm Lisa Lee, your examiner for today's session. Shall we meet our candidates?
Hi, Miss. Lisa, hi everyone. I'm Olive. Super glad to be here for digital literacy and online safety.
Hello everyone, I'm Mary. I'll model band 7 plus answers and share practical strategies as we go.
Wonderful. I'll guide the questions like in a real test. Ready?
All set. Let's go.
Great. How good are you at using digital technology?
I'm okay, I guess. Like day to day, I use my phone and laptop for notes, messages, and, simple photo stuff. I can install apps, change a few settings, and, follow a tutorial to fix small problems. But when files, disappear in the cloud, I panic a bit. Spreadsheets? Kinda scary, though I took a short workshop and, learned filters and sorting, which helps actually. Coding is not really my thing. I'm trying to improve step by step. I write tiny checklists, save, backup, log out, so I don't forget. So, yeah, not advanced, but I'm more confident now, especially when friends show me shortcuts and safer ways to store passwords.
As far as I'm concerned, my user-level proficiency is strong. Cloud versioning for shared files, routine updates, and template-driven notes so work is reproducible. On the one hand, I troubleshoot most app issues. On the other hand, I'm still learning light scripting for repetitive tasks. What's more, I practice discernment online, verifying domains, cross-reading sources, and documenting steps so teammates can follow. I treat settings as a safety checklist, backups on, privacy scoped, two-factor authentication enabled. At the end of the day, good digital hygiene is less talent than habit, habits that lower vulnerability and keep attention on the real goal.
Nice. Habits really matter. How do you protect yourself online?
First thing, I don't click weird links. If a message looks too urgent, do it now. I, stop and ask a friend. I turned on two-step codes for email and banking, and I use a password manager my cousin set up. Updates. Annoying, but I, let them run at night. When I post photos, I check who can see them and, I don't show my ID or, travel dates. If something feels off, spelling, sender name, I open a new tab and search the official page instead of tapping the link. It's basic, but yeah, it keeps me calmer.
To be perfectly honest, I treat cybersecurity like seatbelts. Default on. Unique, random passwords, two-factor authentication with an authenticator app, recovery codes stored offline. A case in point is an email rule that flags high-risk words and parks them in a review folder. On the one hand, convenience tools save time. On the other hand, I sandbox unknown files and verify domains before logging in. What's more, I audit app permissions monthly and keep encrypted backups. At the end of the day, small, boring safeguards add up to big protection.
Simple but essential. That's the key. Are young people good at spotting fake information online?
Some, yeah, but not always. My friends can catch, crazy headlines or bad spelling. But if a post looks super polished, I sometimes share too fast. Now I try a quick routine. Check the date, skim the comments, and search one more source. Our teacher gave us a tiny checklist: author, link, and like, reverse image. And honestly, it helps. Late at night, though, I'm tired and, yeah, I still mess up.
I'm inclined to believe discernment depends on training and context. On the one hand, feed experience builds pattern spotting, reused images, headline body mismatch, impersonation domains. On the other hand, cognitive overload and social pressure drive fast sharing. My 1 minute triage is authority, who runs the site, transparency, author, date, sources, and corroboration, independent outlets. What's more, reverse image search and archive links reduce recycled misinformation. At the end of the day, habits beat hunches.
Good to stay sharp. Why is digital literacy important for young people?
It matters because, everything is online: school, jobs, money, even health stuff. If you don't understand settings or scams, you can, lose accounts or get embarrassed. Digital skills also make homework faster: sorting data, simple slides, and, safer. I feel better with a few rules. Strong passwords, don't overshare, ask for help when something looks off.
It is widely believed that digital literacy is modern citizenship. Beyond apps, it means managing attention, evaluating claims, and acting with ethics in shared spaces. On the one hand, fluency opens opportunity: remote work, scholarships, communities. On the other hand, gaps create vulnerability to scams and reputational harm. What's more, literacy enables creation, portfolios, citations, and collaboration across time zones. At the end of the day, it's agency, steering the feed rather than being steered.
Wonderful answers. Let's move to the long turn. I'll give you a topic card and paper for notes. You have 1 minute to prepare, then speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Ready?
Yes, I know.
All right, your time starts now.
Last year I got an email saying my bank account was, locked, and I had to confirm my password right now. It looked kinda real: same colors, logo, and the subject line was super urgent. I almost clicked the link, but then the sender address had extra numbers, and when I hovered, the link preview didn't match the bank. I was still unsure, so I called my cousin. He studies IT, and he said it's probably phishing. He showed me how to check the domain, open a new tab to find the official hotline, and, never log in through email links. I called the bank. My account was fine, and I felt, honestly, a bit stupid but also relieved. After that, I changed a lot. First, I turned on two-factor codes for email and banking. Second, I installed a password manager. I used to reuse my birthday. And, now it spits out long random ones. Third, I made a silly rule in my inbox. Any mail with urgent or verify now goes to a folder, so I review it slowly instead of panicking. I started noticing tiny things: a 0 instead of an O in the address, the greeting saying "Dear Customer" instead of my name, and weird grammar. On the one hand, scammers keep getting smarter. Sometimes the page looks perfect. On the other hand, a few safeguards make it harder for them to win. Now, if a friend sends a strange file, I ask, Did you mean to send this? If they don't reply, I don't open it. If a site asks for too many permissions, I back out. This changed my behavior a lot. I let updates run overnight. I check app permissions, camera, mic, and turn off what I don't need. I don't post my student ID or travel dates in real time. I also help my parents set stronger passwords and, show them how to use a code app instead of SMS when possible. At the end of the day, the biggest lesson was to slow down. Scams try to make you rush, but if you breathe, read carefully, and ask someone, you can avoid a mess. I still make small mistakes, like clicking too fast, but I'm more vigilant now, and I feel like I can handle it, step by step.
I'd like to share a case from last semester that upgraded my cybersecurity habits. A classmate dropped a docx notes file into our group chat, hosted on an unfamiliar domain. The timing felt plausible. We'd just finished a midterm, but a few signals bothered me. A country code TLD we never use, a preview icon that didn't match Office, and language that sounded too generic. As far as I'm concerned, these small cues are where discernment pays off. I opened it in a sandbox on a spare laptop and scanned it. Antivirus flagged a macro. On the one hand, macros can be legitimate. On the other hand, in unsolicited files, they're classic delivery vehicles. I pinged the classmate on another channel. She'd been hijacked. A case in point is how one rushed click can compromise a whole group. We paused sharing, rotated passwords, and checked access logs on our drive. What's more, we turned it into a 5-point checklist. 1. Verify sender on a second channel. 2. Inspect extensions and keep macros disabled. 3. Prefer cloud previews. 4. Check domains for typos, certificates. And 5. Write a brief post-mortem so people learn without shame. I'm inclined to believe that normalizing debriefs is part of digital literacy. It converts mistakes into culture change. The scare also shifted my privacy posture. I trimmed app permissions, set calendar sharing to busy only, moved recovery codes offline, and scheduled a monthly digital hygiene block. Updates, password rotation on high-value accounts, and a quick scan of social posts for oversharing. At the end of the day, safety isn't one heroic move. It's a rhythm. Small, repeatable actions that lower vulnerability while keeping work smooth. Since then, our group uses labeled folders, clear file names, and tiny README notes, so nobody feels forced to open mystery attachments.
Thoughtful responses. Adaptation stands out. Why is learning online safety important?
It protects your money and accounts, and it saves you from, embarrassment or stress if something leaks. Learning early makes you calmer.
It prevents financial loss, protects privacy, and builds the confidence to participate online. That confidence turns the internet from a risk into a resource.
Excellent. Let's go deeper. How has digital literacy changed the way people work or study?
It makes things faster. We submit homework online, meet on video, and, share notes in drives. But you also need folder names, backups, and tiny checklists or stuff gets lost. My group uses a simple template now. File name, date, who edited, and it helps a lot. Without those skills, meetings go in circles and links break. So, yeah, digital literacy saves time and stress.
It compresses distance and expands reach. On the one hand, collaboration platforms, shared documents, and version control raise productivity and transparency. On the other hand, attention drift, misinformation, and sloppy file hygiene derail outcomes. The fix is culture, naming conventions, access rules, and short onboarding notes so every teammate can contribute confidently. What's more, literate teams escalate carefully, capturing decisions, citing sources, and leaving an audit trail. At the end of the day, literacy operationalizes trust.
Trust through habits. Clear. What are the risks of not being digitally literate?
Scams, fake shops, phishing emails, and, sharing things you shouldn't. People can lose money or, access to accounts. Also, if you can't use basic tools, you miss job posts or class updates. It's scary, but learning small steps, strong passwords, updates, privacy checks already helps. Start simple then. Add more later.
Low literacy stacks vulnerabilities, fraud, identity theft, reputational harm, and locked out opportunities. On the one hand, low awareness invites risky clicks and weak passwords. On the other hand, fear of tech leads to avoidance, widening the gap. A case in point is students who never learn backups and lose thesis drafts. The remedy is scaffolded training and compassionate support, so beginners ask questions without shame. Safety scales when skills and culture rise together.
Skills and culture, got it. Should schools teach digital literacy and online safety?
Yeah, for sure. If schools show real examples, spotting fake links, checking sources, students remember better. We also need practice, not only slides. Set up two-factor authentication, try a password manager, review privacy settings together. Then, people can help their families too. It's basic but powerful.
Absolutely. Curriculum should blend technical safeguards with ethics, consent, attribution, respectful communication. On the one hand, students need hands-on labs simulating phishing, data leaks, and device loss. On the other hand, they need reflection on bias, accessibility, and well-being. What's more, assessment should reward process, checklists, citations, changelogs, not just the final file. At the end of the day, schools prepare citizens, not just users.
Thank you for your insightful answers today. That concludes our speaking test. I wish you great success in your IELTS journey and all your future endeavors.
That's a wrap for Topic 5, Digital Literacy and Online Safety. Compare Olive's band 5 to 6 and Mary's band 7+ answers. Notice fluency, coherence, vocabulary, and grammar. If this helped, like and subscribe so you won't miss Topic 6. See you soon.